champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neil Rule, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Oh, yeah!
If this ain't the biggest Big D energy in a while,
God.
I don't know what is.
Woo! I'm feeling myself today. I look like a grizzly bear at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
It is 11 o'clock. I look like a brand new man. I am feeling great. First time ever in the room with all three of you at one time. This is awesome. Big D Energy live, woodwardsports.com. Thank you to everybody joining us this morning. Myself, Darren McCarty, of course, Spencer Raxter, and of course, Flannel Sam, Mr. Michigan apologist himself, and the man who doesn't believe Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer. What do you know? We got everybody here today. It's going to be a fun show.
We do, and we're actually, he said, a little bit of a crossover. I know that I'm the accountability master a little bit. I have the HR on my desk in the back, but I want everybody to know that I told Adham, I want that Morning Wood vibe. I want Morning Wood, Adham. I want everything that you're all about. If you don't get a chance to check him and Jeff Juicy Iafradi out, our Jay Nivey, I would say,
100%.
of the network, right? He's our young star. Anyways, there should be some good takes.
Oh, yeah. Not only that, we're actually going to take phone calls today. We're going to add that to the show. So we're going to get to hear from all of you at home. Get ready. This is going to be fun. I'm so used to looking at this camera, by the way. I keep doing that. Oh, God. Let's start. You know what, Mac? It was an interesting weekend, obviously. The Lions played. You got the Pistons tonight, but we're going to start off with some Pistons. Cade Cunningham. Mac, you've dealt with injuries, for most of your career, really. Playing through them, some sidelined you. Cade Cunningham's might be season ending. We're not sure yet, but how much of a role does this play with the team's future and really outlook for the rest of the season?
Well, I think what it does, it just slows the clock down, right? Where I've said all along that the progress, and Neil Rule, who is enjoying cocktails in the Bahamas right now, so I will use his analogy of I-75 and where the Red Wings are the furthest along the road and the Pistons were coming up. I thought that in this season span at the beginning of the year, they could combine the last couple of years of what the progress the Red Wings made with the young guys developing the talent. So in the whole picture, Adam, it might just slow things down, but you're still at the beginning, right? You're still finding out. I mean, we can't protect, nobody can protect the basket. So, I mean, to me, I would rather, if this is going to happen, it happen now. It's unfortunate, but in the long run, usually you take care of this. It allows other guys to step up. I mean, this season's a wash anyways.
Well, you're seeing Ivy step up and play really well these last 3, 4, 5 games. I want to compare it a little bit to Blashill 2, maybe 3 years ago. There wasn't a significant injury where Larkin missed the whole season, let's say, but it was a team where you knew it wasn't the most talented.
Well, you look at, you look at last year and then when they missed Tyler Bertuzzi in the Canadian games and stuff like that. They're at the beginning, right? They're finding out. So to your point, you're going to find out that speeds up Jay Nivey's process.
Yes.
Right? It does, because he's going to get more handling the ball, moving it up the court. You can play him and see if he can play the one. You're going to find a lot more. His development's going to move on. You're going to still have development of Jalen Darren and the guys around him and stuff. So you know what you have with Cade, right? It's an unfortunate situation, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise because you're so far away.
100%.
You're so far away, Adam. It's not like, you know what would be really frustrating? What if they were 500 right now? Or what if they were battling and we were excited and they were the team that came out of the gate and then this happened? It'd be a lot harder to take.
Yeah, I think most people have accepted this season as a wash, and I hate to, it's an 82-game season. You have 50, 60-plus games left, but I think we all agree it's basically over, especially with Cade out. I think you put his health first over anything. Let's get him right. Let's get him ready for if it's towards the end of the season or next season. Who knows how serious this is. His health should be the number one concern, because at the end of the year, This is still a 2-3 year project where you have to wait for Cade to develop into a star. You have to wait for Ivy to become a star. And then you can have a conversation about, hey, we're going to go out there and win basketball games. We're going to go out there and compete. Can't happen until these guys step into their own. So very interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, you know what this year's it's turned, right? From let's watch Cade in his second year coming in. How's he going to, is he going to be dominant? Asked, Sam Flannel, conversation we had earlier before the season was, does Cade have a chance to be an all-star? Is he like that? But what's flipped now is, no, it's now we focus on the development of Ivy, the development of Darren. There's still questions. There's a question, we're still watching Sadiq Bey coming in. You got, Isaiah Liver. You got other guys to watch that are going to benefit because they're going to get playing time. So this is only going to benefit, I think, in the long run. To me, it's just that the season's right now has been a wash anyways.
Well, Flannel, let me ask you then. Development's going to be the key word we're going to be talking about probably for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Development of Ivy. What does Killian Hayes turn into? What is the season for you? What are you trying to pull away? If I told you the season was ending, and you had a 20-game stretch, what are you trying to pull away for the remainder of the season?
I mean, the good news is Jaden Ivey has been exactly what we thought he would be, maybe even better. Jalen Duren has really, I think he's been as good or better than we thought he would be. A guy like Bojan Bogdanovic, he has, at least offensively, been better than we thought he would be. The problem is with Cade Cunningham out, unfortunately, this is a 17-win basketball team. They are going to have the worst record in the NBA just because that's how important Cade Cunningham is. But to your guys' point, let's develop the younger guys. And not to go too far into the future, but Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, guys like that, they're coming out in this next draft class. So if there's a year to kind of shut it down and tank and just kind of focus more on development, this is kind of the year to do it. So I'm not too mad, but at the same time, I'm just tired of watching losing basketball, and I feel like we're just going to have to endure more of it. It wears on you a little bit.
Three things, right, which is the focus now, right, is the development of Ivy and Darren. Enjoying watching those guys play, right, watching Ivy get up the court and Darren, rebound and turn into that at the age he is. Number 2, right, what Sam just said. Right, we were talking about let's do the draft for the Lions 3 weeks ago because we had nothing to look forward to. Well, let's start doing that with the Pistons. Who can we add to this team? Because we're going to get the top pick, the top 3 picks. So I think it's okay to do that. And question number 3, Adam, is what I ask you: is Dwayne Casey the right guy for this team, or is Dwayne Casey more the Jeff Blashill?
He's the Jeff Blashill to me. I think he's going to take the punches.
So in saying that, is the end of this season the end of Dwayne Casey, or is it because of the injury, do you foresee him getting this, prolonging the Dwayne Casey contract?
Considering how bad they are, I don't think it's a tough sell for Pistons fans to say, hey, Casey's going to be the guy next year, when you're going to have, whether it's Scoot or Wanyama or whoever it may be, hey, this is the guy that's going to develop. This is a team that's struggling. They're not any good. And the reality is, Mac, they're going to have a lot of money to spend. And if, like Yzerman did this offseason, when you spend that money, you're telling me, hey, we're going to go out and try to compete now. We may not be ready to win at all, but you're going to see a product that's going to win more often than not. Okay, cool. If the Pistons go out and sign a lot of good players, hell, forget the good players. They just add depth. They add a veteran forward, a veteran big man, a veteran point guard instead of Killian Hayes. Who knows where they go, what direction? Now we're talking about, whoa. How about we push Casey aside and let's bring in this new guy, the new guy like a Derek Lalonde, who is going to be your leader, who's going to be the leader of the Troy Weaver project.
The guy to come in to establish that defensive scheme, the guy that's going to come in and preach like Derek Lalonde, the new head coach of the Wings, the 1-1-3 or whatever it is. So here's the thing. As a Pistons fan, Adam, even though we are the worst in the league and it's tough to watch, there's a lot of bright spots ahead. I think Philippines On Demand, Paul Thomas, everybody that's scrolling down the Woodward Sports chat thread, it's time to go. Time to go, Cade. So I believe, and you believe, that as long as this season plays out, because it's like the Blashill situation. If it's gonna benefit before the end of the season, then Stevie would have made a move. When did he make the move? Right after the season. So
I think that's what's going to happen.
And if you're Adam, if you're sitting here okay with it and not getting upset, then you know that time-wise, the time to get upset is if they announce that he's back or something like that, and you're waiting to see the end.
The time to be upset is when 2-3 years from now, they're struggling to make the playoffs. 2-3 years from now, look at the timeline for the Golden State Warriors when they drafted Steph, Draymond, Clay. They went 4 straight years winning less than 25 games. They sucked. But eventually, they got better, and they made some signings. And then it was Mark Jackson came in, and then they became a 50-plus win team. And then it was Steve Kerr, and then obviously the rest is history.
That's
They're
an
champions.
interesting name you brought up there.
Mark Jackson?
Who has...
I think he deserves a job. I think he deserves a chance.
From the outside looking in, I mean, that seems like he's black. He got the Teddy Nolan blackball.
Yeah, but also from the inside, the reports were he was very religious, and it made a lot of players uncomfortable to an extent. I don't know the full story.
But
I
again,
just know he's a good coach.
But again, how long ago was that, right? So
way too long ago.
Right. So maybe that. Don't be surprised. That's just a name that has always interested me.
Well, look, we can drop it in the chat. Should the Pistons move on from Dwayne Casey after the season? Not during. I don't want to hear fire him now. Should they move on from him after? Yes or no? And then after that, we'll pin the call number for all of you to call in, 313-552-6322. We'll get to that. And then coming up, Aiden Hutchinson, Alim McNeill.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about development.
Brad Holmes,
progress.
guys.
You talk about your clock.
Yep.
The clock was pretty broken 3 weeks ago.
Dude, that
and 3 weeks later,
that clock was like we're going through the Bermuda Triangle, and you hear all the magnetics go whack, and it only shows due north.
Yep.
Right? We almost disappeared in the abyss.
But they made it out.
Dan Campbell brought him back.
So
Dan Campbell brought him back, Adam.
I know. I can't wait to have the conversation. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, Aiden Hutchinson, Alim McNeill. While we're in the break, answer the chat. Should the Pistons move on from Dwayne Casey after the season? But before we go, Flannel, do us all a favor. Tell everybody about our good friends over at Lady Jane's.
D-Mac will tell.
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me.
No, it's okay. It's the way it works around here because Adam, I'm the one that gives away all the prizes when there's giveaways and stuff. That's me. So come to Lady Jane's. I've been telling you not only for an award-winning haircut experience, but register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. That's $200K. Only at Lady Jane's. Open 7 days a week. Walk in any time. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. 3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Time to talk about Mike Phillips. No, not former American football cornerback Anwar Phillips, but Michael Phillips. Looking to buy or sell your home, whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That is 313-403-0011.
Ooh, the people have spoken. My God, Dwayne Casey, I'm sorry, buddy. 83% of the people believe Dwayne Casey should be moved on from after the season, which I agree with.
And I think the fact that the other guy, Steve Eisman, in the building is showing the process that people can follow along. And I love the fact that, okay, we see the process. Now it's unfortunate Cade goes down, but there's still there are some bright spots to this season.
100%.
So,
speaking of bright spots.
like bright spots, buddy.
Ooh.
And especially when we're talking about Lions.
Ooh. The Lions' bright spots are very hard to come by. But boy, these last 3 weeks, I'm sorry. 3-game winning streak. Alim McNeill, his career game. Aiden Hutchinson, another interception. Your front seven has been unbelievable these last 3 weeks. And you know what, Darren? I mentioned it before the break. Your clock was a little broken. And 3 weeks removed from it being broken, it is not only fixed, it is actually working perfectly and on pace to do what you all expected before the season, which was win 7-8 games, show development, show progress. And you know what? To Dan's credit, the last 3 weeks, he's looked like a legitimate coach.
You know what it is, Adam? Can you agree? And it was, I heard the pregame with Dan Miller from Fox 2, talking to him and realizing that, you know, it started like the Chicago game, staying out of his way, right? Not making those mistakes, letting the other teams make the mistakes. Can we agree that the game on the road in New York was the best coach game, probably start to finish, 60-minute game as we talk about, in his career?
100%. It was the most impressive win. It was for 4 quarters. They dominated all 4 quarters. They showed up to play for 60 minutes, something you never say about a Detroit Lions football team. Mac, you said it, getting out of his own way. I don't like doing the what ifs and they should be this and they should be that. I'm sorry. I watched Philly. I watched you throw away Minnesota. I watched you not get a single stop against Seattle. If you just got out of your own way and coached 1% better, we might be talking about a 6-4 football team. Having said that, that's the here nor there. They started 1-6. He had everything that he was getting. And you know what? 3 weeks removed, I think the conversation needs to be, oh God, is he actually heading in the right direction? Because I have to be fair, Mac. When I am very critical of you when you're 1-6, you're at your low point, and it's not looking good, and you've given me no reason to believe in you, and then you come out for 3 weeks, and you deliver, and you do everything I've asked you to do, which is win, don't make coaching mistakes, give your team an opportunity to make plays. They've done all that. What more can I say? Even if I don't like the record overall, even if I don't like the overall record over 2 years, I can't be fake and not acknowledge that in the last 3 weeks, Mac, he's looked like a prepared NFL head coach. He's gotten out of his own way. He's stopped with these egregious 4th down decisions. He hasn't done any onside kicks. He's even punted the ball. I can't believe I'm saying that. He actually punted the football. And they're winning games.
Used probably one of his greatest weapons on his team. And what does Jack Fox do? Like he always does, dropping dimes in the 5. You know, stuff like that. So he's progressed. You know, we heard about 3 weeks ago, Aiden Hutchinson alluded to it about the players only meeting. Well, you know what's pretty apparent too that I think that we don't talk about is the coaches only meeting, right? As former players, that seems that they got together and got on the same page. And the one thing is, yes, Dan Campbell deserves credit because he is the leader of the ship. And if we're going to criticize him when things are going bad, he gets all the credit. But gosh darn it, Aaron Glenn, that defense, how about that move? Like, here's the one thing, right? Dan Campbell in 2 years, when things haven't been going right, and whether it's what Neil calls, you know, give me my pound of flesh or whatever like this, the decisions on his coaching staff that he's had to make, and Anthony Lynn last year was a positive one, right? Aubrey Pleasant this year, look at the way this defense is playing. And the one thing leading back into talking about Aiden Hutchinson, Alim McNeill, Kirby Joseph, Malcolm Rodriguez, these are all young rookie guys. So what I'm trying to say is Dan Campbell doesn't, usually when a coach comes in, he gets the veterans all bought in, moving downhill to get the kids to buy in. He's got the full buy-in of the kids. And now they're playing. And now they're showing that Brad Holmes can draft guys. You know, the one thing is, and it reminds me, if we're talking about these guys, I had a conversation on when we did, we used to do The Hook with Maz and Pilar, with Mike O'Hara from Detroit Lions.com. And I asked him, and I mentioned this yesterday, but this is so apparent to me because I asked him a few years ago about training camp. Does anybody out there look good? And he mentioned Alim McNeill. And he said, you know what? This kid reminds me of Bubba Baker. Bubba Baker is one of the all-timers from, and listen, that's like late 70s, 80s, stuff like this. But what I'm saying is that now you're starting to see the guy that does all the dirty work, that doesn't get the flowers all the time, right, is the Alim McNeill, right?
Well,
these guys are playing as a unit.
Well, what was it, guys? 15 carries, 23 yards for Saquon Barkley.
22.
And let's ask Adam. Adam, going into that game, we all said on Big D Energy that Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the league?
I wouldn't go that far. Top three for sure. He's one of the three best backs.
Remember,
I think
Derrick Henry.
He's having the best year.
Derrick Henry to me is the best back. He's been the most consistent. He's been reliable. He's unbelievable.
So what did you go into the game? Were you willing to accept giving up to Barkley? What did you think? 15 carries for?
I thought he'd run for at least 100 yards.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. And then so they're building and they're laying that foundation and they're building on it and they're building on it and they're building on it. And you know what? Leads us into a short week, Thanksgiving week. But compared to before the season or even 3 weeks ago going into this game, I have the most confidence that we can win this game. We have a chance to win this game.
And they outcoached them 4 quarters. Unbelievable. Flannel Lee McNeill career game. 10 pressures, 7 tackles, a sack.
3
Could he not
tackles
be
for
any
loss.
He
more
did
disruptive?
something in the first half that hadn't been done since 2016 by an interior lineman.
He, per PFF, there's some heavyweights love here, the most pressures by a player over 320 pounds in NFL history.
Oh, the heavyweight shout out.
Wow.
Easy, that was for you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's that again, and you know what? I'm gonna pull a Neil here, and you're gonna have to shut the hell up and accept it. I don't want to hear anything about Brad Holmes anymore. I'm tired of it because I was told when they were 1-4, and everybody was crying like the little bitches they are, and giving all the excuses on why this team can't win. It's not. They don't have enough talent, Adam. It's not fair. What is Dan supposed to do? What is he? Look at it's Alim McNeill and Levi Onwuzurike. What is he supposed to do, Adam? Shut the fuck up. That's what you're supposed to do. Alim McNeill, Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Malcolm Rodriguez, Lick My Nuts.
Kirby
Who else
Joseph.
do you want me to name?
Penny Sewell.
Panay Sewell, first-round pick. You get
We don't
Jameson
even, hey,
Williams
listen,
back.
we're so good. We don't even have to drop the perennial gold jacket guys on offense.
Jameson Williams coming back likely against Jacksonville. Wait till you see him on the field. Oh, wait, Derek Barnes has been a good linebacker these last, 3, 4, 5 weeks?
Yep.
Very interesting.
Listen, I don't know about you, but this is what I want to ask you. That was the best game that I seen Anzalone play too. I wanted to bring this up yesterday. Did anybody see the tackle where Anzalone wrapped him up, spun? The guy broke out of the tackle. He spun around and he threw him into himself on the sideline. Did you see that? Right? Did anybody go like? That's when you know things are going good. But just to that point, the way that they're playing as a unit, their pursuit to the ball, their hunger, all this stuff like this. Now, we haven't even mentioned that look at Okudah. And I know that he's not a Holmes guy or whatever, but look at how he's played in that system. And he's been just as integral part of that defense. Now we're going to miss him this Thursday, but it's a different opportunity for guys to step up.
Well, that's another thing. And I'm sorry. This is why coaching matters. And Spence Flannel, feel free to really interject here. This is why coaching matters. Because nobody's complaining about Sunday right now. Nobody's complaining about Jeff Okudah going down. Nobody. Why? They won. The secondary players did their job. They kept everything in front of them. Nobody was getting beat. Hutchinson made a play. Your defense made plays. They stopped the run. Wait, coaching matters. Jeff Okudah, again, he's your best corner. I mean, I don't think anybody can disagree with that right now. Having said that, give me a break. Coaching matters so much in the NFL, and it really glosses over any errors or maybe flaws you may have, as long as you're buttoned up, which the Lions have been for 3 weeks now. They've given up yards, sure. They gave up 300 yards to Daniel Jones. So what? That was intentional. They kept everything in front of them, and they waited for New York to fall apart, which they did. Kirby Joseph had a pick. Aiden Hutchinson had a pick. I mean, come on.
But they executed. And as much as we want to hammer on Goff, that's as good of a game as a game manager or whatever. He made the throws. He made some great throws on third down. We were talking about Tom Kennedy and different guys stepping up. Amon-Ra St. Brown. But there was some, there was so many good plays, instinctual. And Adam, the big thing, right? Look at how we're doing in the turnover battle, right? The turnover battle. That's what other good teams do. So, progress, not perfection, but where we're at, you look at the clock, right? And at the end of it makes me feel a lot better. Look at that. 7 left.
You're getting very close.
You believe we're there? Like that just, this is the old adage where days are long, years are short, right? But definitely feeling a lot better 25, 26, and 27 than I was before.
100%. Again, 3 weeks ago, you were ready to just sell everything, sell the stock, sell everything, get rid of it. And just as quickly as you can fail in the NFL, you can succeed. That's why it doesn't take 3-4 years to rebuild a franchise. If you're good enough as a coach, you can get it done. You see what Dable's doing in New York. You see what's his face? God, how am I forgetting his name? Arthur Smith out in Atlanta. Go look at Pete Carroll, what he's working with.
Sirianni in Philadelphia.
Sirianni, a better team, but yes, same situation though, right? They walk in, they're young, and they instantly win. It doesn't take long. And now that Campbell has this 3-game winning streak, I'm going to look past Buffalo a little bit because that is the hardest game on the schedule, right? You have to accept
Buffalo's
it.
A caveat, but it's also a great opportunity
to see what you
can going
can
in, winning 3 in a row, winning 2 on the road, having this confidence as a young group. They know what they're up against, but playing it here in the Dome at home with the struggles that Josh Allen, who hasn't looked like Josh Allen, the world beater, this is an opportunity. And you know what? Like, what was it yesterday? The spread was like 9.5 or 10 or stuff like that. I mean, disrespect to the Lions, but I expect them to keep it like it is in the NFL, a 1-score game.
All right, well, I'll tell you what I like to keep. I like to keep my taste buds refreshed with a good old can of Cintron.
That's for sure. That is for sure, because Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Cintron has combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. Try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free all in 1 pack. Okay. You can pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron and let's go Red Wings. Oh yeah, and get dope like me.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Oh, yes, we are back live. WoodwardSports.com. Oh, my God. He is fat. I mean, huge. Sorry. Fat's not nice.
Used to be.
Used to be. That was Ryan Pryor. 7 rolls on his cheeks and his chin, and another 4 probably underneath that shirt. He's made a lot of
I
progress.
would have gone with just filling out all the screens, but today that's not it. When you watch from 2 to 4, you watch the final word. I mean, the bottom line. There you go. But he has progressed all through what? The help of
Dr. Jason and our good friends over at Custom Health Center. So shout out to them. They're doing a great job. If Ryan or Monty can lose weight, God knows any of you can. So. Oh, man, we're back. We're back. Big D energy today. Adham, Beydoun filling in for the Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Sam Reynolds, Spencer Raxter. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing great. This is a question for the room. And this is a question also for everybody tuning in over at woodwardsports.com and the Woodward Sports chat. Did the win over the Giants, and we'll start with you, Flat. Did the win over the Giants give you the confidence you needed in Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn moving forward?
Here's what it did. It gave a complete moratorium on any hot seat talk for them, because at 1-6, with the Detroit Lions having the worst scoring defense in the NFL, all kind of coaching gaffes by Dan Campbell, I think Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell were on the hot seat for a lot of people, and deservedly so. But what happens when you win? What happens when the defense actually plays well? You silence a lot of critics. Dan Campbell seems to have maybe fixed some of those in-game coaching mistakes. I mean, he outcoached Brian Daboll. Him and his entire coaching staff completely outcoached the Giants coaching staff. And the last game, they're on a 3-game winning streak. And in that said 3-game winning streak, the Aaron Glenn-led defense has only allowed 19 points per game, which is damn good. That's good enough to win you games in the NFL, especially with an offense that can put up some points like the Detroit Lions. Has it given me the faith that they will be the coaches going forward guaranteed? I wouldn't say that, but that's what happens when you win. You get buy-in from the fans. You get buy-in from the ownership. You get buy-in from the general manager, and that, I think, is what they have done, that they have given us the faith that they can be the coaches moving forward, whereas 3 weeks ago, we were ready to just throw them out with the bathwater.
I'm not ready to say that.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'll tell you what the Giants win did for me. I could see the future. I could see how they win in the future. I can see this type of football translating into 8, 9, 10, 11 wins. The football you saw on Sunday is repeatable, and it was very, very disciplined. I like those things. Those are things I like. Now, does that mean I'm 100% bought into Dan Campbell as the guy? No. I have that right. As much as, again, I brought this up earlier. 3 weeks ago, this was 1-6, 4-19-1, 0-11-1 on the road.
Those wins have helped.
The
3 week stretch.
And you would be foolish not to at least be somewhat skeptical.
It's
in the
there
back
in my
of your
mind.
See, that's why I have the clock. I can wait till the end of the year. I can hopefully play it out. You bring up a great point. By the way, a moratorium, right, is the suspension, a temporary prohibition of an activity. So say I put the moratorium on the firing, which means that he's not going to do it, right? Which we can agree it's taking the heat off, but you are absolutely 100% if you're like you, Adam, where I still have to see more, but the blueprint on how this team can win,
it exists.
You mentioned a huge key. Last 2 weeks, 2 penalties in Chicago, 5 penalties in the Giants. The other they were lower in the penalties, right? And actually, I'd say 4 because the penalty on Penei Sewell for the illegal block was something like, if you're gonna, it's a good penalty to take, right? They ended up scoring; it didn't hurt them. So you're right. You saw the blueprint of what this team does. Now, the object is to only, like you said, with your draft capital, with your salary cap, with your free agents, go out and put people around it. If we see it, hopefully players see it, agents see it, and now this becomes more of not a death sentence at a place where guys like Damian Woody come to get a payday, but it's where guys want to come and win.
What it does for me is, to refer to your clock, I think he's safe the whole season.
Yes.
That's it. That's done.
I
don't think anybody's going to be saying, man, is this the guy? Do you have to pull the plug? It's getting really bad. 1-6, that's a legitimate conversation. They're 4-6 right now. They're probably going to be pretty competitive against Buffalo. And then you have a schedule down the stretch where you're looking at potential 7, dare I say, I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth, dare I say 8 wins after starting 1-6. There is a lot ahead of this team. I've seen over 3 weeks he's convinced me enough to where I think he's earned the right to coach the rest of the season. Now, if they fall apart and they finish 5-12, we're having a different conversation. But I'm not going to base my right now opinion on what could happen. They could win out. They could lose out. I don't know that. What I do know is I like what I'm seeing the last 3 weeks, and that for me is enough to pause all the conversation about, is he a turd? Is he the guy? Should he be here next year? We're not doing that right now. Right now we are going to talk about a team that's won 3 in a row and have looked damn good in that stretch.
And you know what? Here's the thing, right? It's the consistency. We laugh and joke about Dan Campbell and his coffees every morning and all the different things he does in there at 5:30 working out. So he's going to coach the same way. He's found something that works. I don't see him realizing that he's got to kindergarten it up. Simpler is better because it's a winning strategy for him and the Detroit Lions. And I think that this coaching staff, as much as we gave him a lot of crap earlier, is that you're right. Till the clock runs out, and let's reevaluate at the end of the season, right? Because you're right. They got the Ferrari coming back and James Williams.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what that does to this team, but I like where we're at.
Spence, they beat New York, 3-game winning streak, first time since 2017. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm happy. You look at what they're doing. They're winning this the right way. They're winning this without turnovers. The turnover margin in these last 3 games is 7-1. So they're playing opportunistic defense. They're not turning the ball over. That is how you sustain success in the NFL. So I like it. I said it on Heavyweights yesterday. Since the Jim Caldwell era, this 3-game stretch has been the best coached football I've seen in Detroit. So I like to see. Again, I'm with you. I'm not ready to anoint Dan Campbell as the guy or
I can't.
Going
you have
forward.
to earn that.
But I'm not saying fire him he's coming back next year for sure.
100%.
For sure.
Unless they lose out,
yes.
Which I do not see.
No.
I think he is, again, D-Mac, I think you more than anybody, not only in this room, probably in the state of Michigan, understand this. How important self-awareness is. He started the year, and what was it? It was the venti. It was the 4th down aggression. It was the onside kick. It was the fake punts. It was all this crap that you just don't need. It's unnecessary. And then what happened? He was 1-6, back against the wall. Sheila has to come out and say, be patient, we're going to support him. And then he sits down and says, you know what, I got to stop this nonsense. We got to win football games. We have talent here. All of you, we all agreed before the season, minimum 7 wins. 7-10 was the likely outcome. 8-9, I personally said I would not get upset with any of you if you said 8 or 9 wins before the year, because I could totally see it. You don't get to run away from that. 1-6, he was very self-aware. Aubrey Pleasant's moved on from. They make a change for the sake of making a change. Maybe not. I don't want to go into that too much, but he's been dialed in as a coach.
It's the right change.
His offensive coordinator went toe-to-toe with one of the most experienced coordinators on the defensive side of the ball in the NFL. And you know what he did? He had an answer for everything. Everything he had to offer him. Him and his coaching staff deserve a ton of credit.
You know what we haven't mentioned either?
Go for it.
You traded your first rounder away.
Who?
Hutchinson.
Blockinson?
But what I'm saying is that we're like, how smart is that? When you're talking about giving Brad Holmes props, you got touchdowns from the tight end position. You're not missing out anything there. That's what I'm saying. Self-awareness in Allen Park, probably more. They're more self-aware today than they ever have been.
100%. 100%. And it's so important because that's how you end up like we'll call it, Adam Gase is a good example. Even coaches now that are in the league that you know are going to fail. Josh McDaniels, Nathaniel Hackett. You look at some of these guys. Self-awareness clearly is a problem because you have to be open to change. And if you're not willing to start with yourself and change, how do you expect your players and the coaching staff that you are in charge of leading to adapt to any changes you require out of them? You have to lead by example. Now, again, to his credit, these past 3 weeks he's led by example. He's put them in the right positions to win, and they've been winning.
And you know what I think that can't be like so known about self-awareness, but it seems that they're doing it all together. There's no separation of offense, defense, special teams when they talk. It seems like it's a team unified thing, then you break off and go into it. So that, for a young team too, the buy-in, And you see that more as you hear them talk in the interviews and you see them out and about doing things and the way they play, because that translates, right? Why do we win championships with the Detroit Red Wings? And I say it all the time. It's because the guy to your right and your left was more important than you were. And that's from even our top guys, the sacrifice and the work. So
I forget what speech or TED Talk or motivational talk this is from, so excuse me that I'm not probably, I'm going to paraphrase here, but there was a gentleman, DMAC, and what he said was, in the Navy SEALs, there are two very important factors that they consider: performance and trust. And high-performing candidates with low trust are out the door.
Yep.
And it is the lower-performing candidates that they trust that will make it through. Why? You need to be able to trust the guy on your left and right with basically your family, your future. It's really life and death for them. I know it's different in hockey and the NFL, but the point is so relevant.
Yes.
Because you can be a high-performing all-star player, but nobody around you trusts you. Now, why do we want you on the team? This is a team game.
So think about the mentality and just behind the curtain to here at Woodward Sports, right? The team aspect of pulling it in for everybody else. Everybody brings their skill, but we're in this together.
100%.
We dog on each other all the time, but that's the best part about being in the locker room.
Well, look, the defense has been exceptional for the Lions the last 3 weeks, and you know who else is exceptional all the time? Not just for 3 weeks, all the time? The Guardian Alarm.
Well, you know Guardian Alarm. They keep you safe and give you peace of mind, whether you're home or away for your business or your personal. If you want to be part of the Woodward Sports Big D Energy family / Woodward Morningwood. Jeez, did I just go blank there? Absolutely. Give them a call today. 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
How many straight days of flannel protection?
161.
161 straight days of flannel protection. Give them a call today. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Stay out of his house. He's a married dude. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. They'll protect you too. Tell them Big D Energy, we sent you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hello.
Oh, what happened to this? Am I reading it wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Adam, you idiot. I get it. Gosh. That's what the cut's for.
Yep.
God, Adam.
All right.
Rookie moves here. We're back live, Big D Energy. I'm filling in for Neil Rule. Oh, dear God. Live, WoodwardSports.com. All right, we got a big Thursday game. Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions. Mac, I'll start with this. What do the Lions need to do to stop Josh Allen? Not only a mobile quarterback, but probably the most intimidating mobile quarterback, because he is a linebacker running full speed downfield at you.
Well, think about it, right? What have we had the most trouble doing this year? Stopping that mobile quarterback, right? And running for certain yards, breaking out. We've played some of the best, starting with Hurts. I think that we're better. I think that what you're going to try to see is more of the game plan of he's going to get his yards, but they're going to try to contain them. Now, the tough thing with the Bills is they got weapons, right? They got one of the best deep threats receivers, and he's on my fantasy team, Stephon Diggs.
There you go. There's the caveat.
in the league, right? Which doesn't bode well. But again, here's the thing: Josh Allen, to the point, seems like he's beating himself lately.
Oh yeah.
So how do we, right? The conversation I'd be having is he's not. I don't think he's 100% right. I think that elbow injury and the way he's throwing the ball. So obviously you want to get pressure on him, and you want to do that. But I think it's one of these things. I'm not as afraid as I was earlier on in the season, and it's sort of how do we game plan to let him self-destruct? Right? Because I see more self-destruct and more the thing that I hear on the street or the pundits and everybody talking about is he's making the same mistakes as he did in his rookie year.
Yeah. Look,
so how do we make him do that, and how do we capitalize?
You can't really make him outside of putting pressure on him.
So
the reality is they are a much better team. They have weapons everywhere. Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, Devin Singletary emerging out of the backfield lately. Zach Moss, I believe, in the backfield. No. Who is it? No, Cook.
Yeah,
James Cook.
Knox.
James Cook in the backfield. Knox at tight end. They are loaded. They're loaded on defense. I think they're totally outmanned. What they can do to stop them is, well, you have to pick your poison, Mac. Because if you keep him in the pocket, he is more than capable of beating you in the pocket. He is a top 5 quarterback in the pocket.
Here's your question. What are you going to allow? What can you accept him beating you with? Like last week, if Daniel Jones beat you with his arm, you're going to have to eat that.
So be it.
So are you going to see, to me, I take his legs away because his arm's susceptible. Yes, you're right. He can make all the throws and stuff like this, but he's not making them as of late.
And that's the thing. You don't want to get into 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, and then Josh Allen's running 20, 30 yards downfield flannel. So, yeah, look, the reality is when it comes to these kind of quarterbacks, keep them in the pocket. Don't let them beat you in a play where you actually have good coverage, but you're punished for not having good containment. Focus on keeping him in the pocket. Is he going to throw probably for 280, 300-plus yards? Yeah. Now the question is, can you force a turnover or two like you have the last 3 weeks? Can you score on offense? Can you stay ahead and force him to make the mistakes? That's I think the game plan. What do you think?
No, and that's spot on. With Josh Allen, I agree. You can't let him kill you with his legs. You can't let him pick up those 3rd and 8s, those 3rd and 10s on the ground, because those are just back-breaking for a defense. On offense, though, I think this running game can really get it going against the Bills, because the Lions, what they have shown is they still have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. And I know the Buffalo Bills have a good defense and all, but if they can just hammer away at that defense, get 3 yards, 4 yards, Jamal Williams, Justin Jackson, even maybe get a big play or two from DeAndre Swift, and of course not have Jared Goff make any mistakes, complete some play action passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I said this last night on Woodward Heavyweights. The Detroit Lions are going to beat the Buffalo Bills this Thursday. And it's hard. It's hard to convince people. It's hard to convince myself.
I don't know why we don't do drug tests here. I swear to God. We just hire anybody.
Is it really that insane?
Yes.
I got a medical script for mine.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, exactly. What are we
doing
about?
Well, why? I'm genuinely curious because you know they're outmanned. You know the Bills are more talented. You know the Bills are a top 4, top 5 team. You know the Bills have more to lose on Thursday than any team in the NFL because Miami's not losing to Houston.
No.
So I want to see them compete. I'll give you my explanation. It doesn't matter. You really think they're going to win?
I do think they're going to win.
What is it?
It's just coffee and water. Coffee and water. That's all I do in the morning.
Did you steal some of my cocaine from the back?
I may have dabbled in that a little bit, but you know what? That doesn't matter because I would still have the same reaction.
Adam, you brought up a great point, right? What do we always hope for here in Detroit when the last home game against Green Bay doesn't mean anything, right? You're sort of hoping maybe Buffalo coming into this game when you looked at the schedule was out and ahead and they take it for granted and take you lightly. They can't. They don't have to. They're fighting for their lives, obviously, because of what Miami's doing and because of the battle that they're in for. Obviously, so they're going to probably give you their best game. You got to execute. Right, you look at some of the plays, too, that we did not execute on, right? And I'm thinking about Cabinda out of the backfield on a couple plays. You mentioned a great point. So Ben Johnson's got to draw up as good of an offensive game plan. We got to control the ball. We got to run the best. You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna is another week of not using DeAndre Swift? Are we seeing something where he's coming in as a third back as more of the norm? Or is this the one that they're waiting for, trying to get him healthy so they can let him go? I mean, I don't know. There are paths to your victory, but I just think because you're going up against the perennial Super Bowl contender, still not out of it, you got a chance, but you know what? You're not doing the hard drugs right now, but you're into the psychedelics.
Well, think about this. I think firmly that the Lions can shut down the Buffalo Bills' run game. I'm sorry, but Devin Singletary and James Cook don't scare me as much as Saquon Barkley did, and they completely choked the life out of Saquon Barkley. He had his worst game of the season. And also, I believe that Josh Allen, he obviously has been a little loose with the football. Do you guys think there's maybe a chance that he puts it up for grabs maybe once or twice, and maybe an opportunistic rookie ball hawk safety like Kirby Joseph can pick one off? I think that is very, very possible. I would argue maybe probable that at least Kirby Joseph gets that opportunity. It depends on if he gets the interception or just knocks it down.
Is your wife's name Alicia?
No, I see.
Okay,
she's with me, though.
Well, no, I'm wondering because Alicia says she stands with Sam Flannel, so I just thought this was
Alicia's a
wife.
A very smart woman.
All right, look. Flannel, if I'm honest with you, I'm really trying to think through how this works. It's bold of you. It's bold. You're right. Allen is going to make a few throws that you're like, oh, wait, that's an opportunity.
Yes.
But if Allen drops back 40 times, and he is 40% of what he is, it's enough to beat every defense in the NFL outside of maybe San Francisco, maybe Baltimore.
Do you think, though, that Buffalo is a little bit more vulnerable at this point than maybe you thought they would have been at this time this season?
I do, and that's my concern. Because they're buttoned up. They walked away with a win on Sunday where they looked very good against a very difficult Cleveland Browns team. You want to talk about how the Lions are built? The Browns are built very similar, except they're 2-3 years ahead of you. A lot of veteran talent on the offensive line, defensive front, ball hawk players. They have an established run game. Ding, ding, ding. The Lions are trying to build that, something similar at least, with a little bit more dynamic play offensively. But the point is, the Bills can't afford to slip up, and they know that. And on a game where if they were 9-1 walking in, yeah, maybe they do overlook the Lions. But I think 40% of Buffalo right now is enough to beat 100% of the Lions.
Really?
Yes.
I just don't
because
see...
one's a contender, Flannel, and the other is a team we like, a team we are inspired by the last 3 weeks. But you still have concerns. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't forget 400 yards against the Packers.
Nor should you.
I don't forget 400-plus yards against the Bears giving up. I don't forget 400-plus yards against the Giants giving up. Like, we can give the credit where it's due. But at the end of the day, this is a defense that's still letting teams go up and down the field. Now, the defense has been making plays, timely turnovers, sacks. Yes, 100% deserve credit. But Buffalo is known for defense first. From their coaching standpoint, Sean McDermott is a defensive coach. They're not going to come out and play games and let Detroit get to a 14-0 first quarter lead where Detroit's running the ball all the time, controlling the clock. This is a very difficult game. I see it playing one of two ways. The Bills blow them out, or the Bills win by 10, 11 points. I don't see the win. I love the fact that you're out bold enough to say it. I hope I'm wrong. I just think 40% of Buffalo is better than 100% of the Lions right now.
That's fair.
Spenny, where you at?
Yeah, I mean, I think Buffalo's going to win. We actually made a bet that if the Lions win, I'm getting a tattoo of Dan Campbell's face on my thigh. And if Buffalo wins, Sam has to buy Hunter House. So.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
Because,
you're
like
winning that bet.
The odds are...
Can I get in for the Hunter House?
Yeah. It's tough. I think... Noah Okudah is going to hurt a lot. I don't know if Jerry Jacobs or...
Diggs is going for 150.
Yeah, it's... we've seen Justin Jefferson against the Lions. We've seen Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle against the Lions. But we haven't seen that without guys like Josh Pascal, without guys like Jeff Okudah. So it's going to be tough who you have out there. If it's Charles Harris, if it's Ife Melifonwu, if they move him back to corner, whatever it is, I think Diggs is going to eat. And like I said it on Heavyweights yesterday, Daniel Jones is a bargain bin Josh Allen. Like, he's a Wish.com Josh Allen. And Daniel Jones went for 50 yards rushing. So, and they were selling out to stop the run the whole game. You don't have to sell out to stop the run against the Bills. I think Josh Allen goes for 80 plus.
Can we
on the
also
ground.
keep in mind the Bills have only given up 174 points, which is like top 5 in the NFL fewest? Yeah. They've got a defense. Their defense, you think you force turnovers? You think you get pressure? They do it at the elite level.
And they're planning on coming in. Hey, forget about all that. Can we get a chat poll? Does anybody else, like, would you trade Hunter House for a thigh tattoo?
That's
inner leg thigh tattoo?
That's
I mean, wait a sec. Who negotiated that? I think that, like, the odds, even though I think you're going to get free Hunter House, you're putting way too much on the line. I guess, can you do a chat poll? Would you bet, and Hunter House are like sliders and, you know, right, like sliders and fries and onion rings and stuff. Would you, out there, would you trade Hunter House for an inner thigh tattoo? I mean, couldn't go outer ankle or something, bro? Inner thigh?
I'll one-up it. Flannel, the Lions win on Thursday. I'll show up Friday. I'll smoke a crack pipe on the show, and it won't be hookah that I'm smoking. It'll be something else. That I promise you.
Well, we'll be at Feldman, and I'll be there with you then.
We'll get the Friday show. We'll get the Friday show. It's Thursday this week, so Friday morning, get ready.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of getting ready, though, I got to ask you guys, are you ready for the delicious, scrumptious food that Big Boy has to offer?
I am. I know I am. You all know.
Not today?
You all know I am. Yes, that is today, because as of right now, you can go to Big Boy and get a 99-cent Big Boy with the purchase of a Pepsi. All you need to do is buy a Pepsi and you get the famous Big Boy for 99 cents. Probably going there for lunch. So satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy. Visit bigboy.com for full details and participating locations.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with the spotless sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll be all competitors by $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more coming. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Dan.
All right, guys.
You're getting really good at that, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In fact, I have to deal with it with fish is enough. I don't need you doing that, dude. Oh, my goodness. Top of the hour. Big D Energy live.
Flying.
Woodwardsports.com. Adham, Beydoun filling in for the Neil Rule. You know, I wasn't going to do it today.
What?
I wasn't going to be on the show. I was asked last second, obviously, and then I was told by the final word it's not a good idea for me to do it. And then there was a late veto. So here I am.
Wait, the final word said it wasn't a good idea to do.
It wasn't a good idea.
So are you saying straight Maz told you that?
No, I can't confirm or deny who it was.
Really? It wasn't a good idea? Well, then you know that it's obviously a great idea. But they are the final word. I mean, they do run the network.
What they say
so
goes, man.
Just happy whatever we could get. I'm just happy to finally get to do a show with you, bro.
All right.
I don't know what they're all talking about.
Let's lighten up the mood.
Let's do it.
A lot of serious talk the first hour. We got Thanksgiving football in Detroit, as always. And the question this morning is, we want to go around the room. Oh, scrap it? All right, we're scrapping it. We're going to Michael Gentry.
Audibling Red
We're audible.
Yeah, why wouldn't you audible if you're sitting right there? We could talk about that.
I am a man of due diligence. You tell me 11:57, it's 11:57.
That's fair.
Having said that, we are joined by the Michael Gentry, Detroit Red Wings beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network. Michael, good morning. How are you?
Yeah,
I like the fit.
Thanks for having me.
I like the fit. You have the luxury of coaching currently the most successful team in Detroit. How's that been going?
Oh, it's been going good, man. It's been exciting. They've been a very exciting team so far through 18 games, so I hope they can keep it up and push towards the playoffs.
All right, well, here's the trending rumor. Erik Karlsson to the Red Wings. Should the Lions consider going after this star?
Should the Lions?
Or, excuse me, did I say Lions? We do too much Lions here.
Yeah, a lot of Lions.
Should the Red Wings go after Erik Karlsson?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
I mean, it would really all depend on what you give up, but he's got like 11.5 million cap hit. So you do have some assets to re-sign in the offseason, obviously Dylan Larkin. So as of now, I would say no.
But here's the whole thing, right? At the end of the day, when it comes down to anything like this, it's hashtag Wiser Plan.
Yeah.
If it's into to 1919, if he's in, if this is part of the process to move quicker. Now, Erik Karlsson, like the number on him, right, which is 11.5. But again, if you go to Neil and you go into the war chest, he could do it. Now he's got to. If he did that, you're going to move guys. I would say that put some of the writing on the wall where you'd probably going to have to move a Bertuzzi or move a Roenick and stuff like this. But here's the one thing. I don't expect it because I don't think we're there yet. This is one of those moves that if this gets you over the edge to get you to the Final Four, which I think in like a 3 years' time this would be the move. But I just, to your point, I don't think with the money and the fact that he's still got how many years left on the contract?
4.
4 years,
Yeah,
right? You don't want to be locked into that because you have other guys.
Well, let's be honest here. How would you ever make that deal possible? The team you would trade with would have to eat 20, 30, 40% of that cap.
No, a lot of, well, you would
Very
think,
few teams can take on $11 million, especially if they're, quote, contenders, because they're already all in, and they're spending their money, and they have their big-time players. So I would say at least 2, 3, 4 million of that you're going to have to pay. Not you as in the Red Wings, but the team that's giving them away.
Well, you would think that's where that at the end of the day, Adam, is where I sit back and go, whatever.
Yeah.
I got Steve Yzerman on the end of the line.
Do you think it's too
figuring
early,
that
though?
out because look what he does. If he ever made that deal, it's probably the draft picks on the back end. I guarantee when people see 3-1-3, their butts pucker. Right? They don't want to deal with them. You're going to walk out there with the worst of the deal.
Yeah, you got Jakub Vrana for a pack of Trojan condoms.
You want to mention Kubalik at 2.5. You want to mention, and this is great. So last night was the Red Wing charity poker tournament down at Motor City Casino. Helps fund the Detroit Red Wings Foundation, helps fund youth hockey throughout the state and stuff like this. So it's a great event. We're getting to see this. One of the guys that we forget that's having that is a low key important part of this team that's coming back to having a solid year is Adam Ernie. Adam Ernie is a big part of this team moving forward. And this is one of Steve Yzerman's first guys that he ever brought. And if you remember, when he came in, he brought him in from Tampa.
Yes, he did.
And so I think when we look at the Erik Karlsson, is the fact, just look at it like this. It can come across, you can have the conversation. If we were a year ago, you would never have the conversation. If that was the plan that he wanted. Just the fact that you're in the mix. You have all the stuff in the mix. If that's where
you're a destination,
you're becoming, and I think that what we're seeing now with you look at the guys that you give it to the Sherratts, the Perrons, the Matas, the guys that have come here and produced, right? So you're bringing in free agents that are actually contributing right away, what does that make to other free agents a destination place? Adam, I think that you're right, but just as of late, right, this year, maybe now it's even more so because you're going to get that opportunity. Now, the big deal with Mike, the big thing here is it seems that they're able to plug and play with whatever guys get injured on the forwards and stuff like this. They can call guys up, the Bergerons, the Charnicks, they're producing stuff like this. But really, it's become apparent it's that, the back end, the 5'6" defensemen and stuff like this. Do you expect Steve Yzerman to be making any moves, or is it more of you think that the team, what he's got right now is pretty much what we're going to have at least going forward for the next few months?
It's hard to tell going up to the deadline what they would do trade-wise because it's so early in the season. They are having a really kind of hot start. They've had some bad games here and there, but if they are in contending around the deadline, I could see them moving for a defenseman. I don't think it would be an Erik Karlsson type defenseman with that type of cap hit, but I do expect if they were contending, they would do it. Move for a defenseman, but I don't think they would move for any forwards or anything like that. I think the depth they have at forward is pretty good right now, and if they can get Verana back hopefully this year, that would be a huge step. But Bertuzzi getting back in the lineup, although he hasn't shown up too much points-wise, the chemistry between him and Raymond is crucial for the Red Wings' success. So I think the forward group has some nice depth, and they won't do any moves that way. But if they were contending around the deadline, maybe a defenseman.
Well, look, they got a 5-game homestand coming up. You got Nashville. You got the Coyotes, the Maple Leafs, the Sabres, and the Golden Knights. You want to talk about a statement homestand? You somehow go 4-1, 3-1-1.
Would mean a lot.
In an Eastern Conference that you looked and said, man, 94 points might not be enough to get in.
Yeah.
They got a chance. They look good. And I'm sorry, back to the Yzer plan. What do you know? Off-season comes, gets rid of the coach. Hey, you guys, you're not ready for what I'm about to do in the free agency period. Boom, gets all these players. Derek Lalonde, insert, and what do you know? What are they? 9-5-4, I believe.
Yes, they are.
Come on, you may be talking about a 12-6-5 team. 23 games in. The Wings. I'm not gonna say they're back. But they are the furthest along than any team in this town. And they're playing some damn good hockey. And Billy Uso he's been the guy.
Yeah, 100%.
What are some of the things that, because you see every game, and people I want to hear a little bit more your experience, right? And now explain to everybody how you watch the game at LCA, and because you're up above. So you get to see things, not just from in the stands, but you see it. And there may be some of the things that have stood out to you that maybe you haven't seen that you get to see live. Whether it's a player, whether it's the 1-1-3 system that Lalonde talks about, the PK, the power play.
I've seen the power play even through practice. It's been one of their most constant thing that's been worked on, and you can see it out on the ice, and it's been hugely improved since past years, and a big part of that has been David Perron. His ability to slow down any play when he gets the puck and kind of set up in the offensive zone has been the biggest thing for the power play, and that's one of my biggest takeaways I've seen so far was his presence just all around. And one thing is, this team just has a different vibe in the locker room compared to past teams. They are forming like a true brotherhood. D-Mac, you've been down there with me, and you've seen it. These guys love each other, and they're building a type of chemistry that is a winning culture type chemistry. So that's another thing. And one other guy that I think has kind of been swept under the radar and who has been playing really good hockey this year is Suter. And you know how high I've been on him. He's been able to plug and play on every line. He might not show up on the stat sheet as much either, but it's the plays every given game. You see him making multiple plays. He's playing great two-way hockey. So he has been fantastic and been under the radar.
You need the guy with versatility up and down the lineup, right? That can play in and out, and every now and then he hasn't played all the games. He's been scratched. A couple, things is the biggest for me, Adam. The biggest is the development of Michael Rasmussen. Not only and not so on the score sheet, but in that two-way, and I compare him. I was talking to Daniela Bruce, and I said, he's evolving, and he's reminding me of a Jordan Stahl, who is a big third-line center for Pittsburgh, with the size, being able to face off. One of the things that we is a glowing. It's been more of a constant. Now we're 18 games in. Is the face-off, puck possession, or stuff like this? Have they addressed that as a team and some of the and any of the press conferences or stuff like that? Because that's one of the areas, face-off percentage, that they've struggled in this year.
Yeah, it's definitely been addressed, and it's definitely been worked on. One of the things, like you said, it has been a struggle, and it's been more of a struggle on the power play. When you are trying to gain possession in the zone, those face-offs become more crucial, and when you're you're losing those face-offs and it's getting cleared out right away, it's hard for you to gain momentum on the power play and succeed. So I definitely think that it has been worked on, but it definitely needs to be worked on more, because we are giving up crucial possessions multiple times throughout the game. And for a power play that's been so hot and shown so many flashes, that's definitely a key to it.
I got one more for you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Mo Seider, first goal of the year, big one in the game winner the other night in San Jose.
Yes.
But with some of the things people might, if they just look at him from winning the Calder last year, and they look at some of the points are down in the production. But what do you see in his game? Is there playing those number one minutes, being that top guy? What have you seen? Because I've seen him struggle a little bit with confidence, but on the whole, what do you see out of Mo Seider's game?
I wouldn't worry about Mo overall. I have seen him. He's been a little bit too flashy at times, and kind of just needs to be more straightforward with his game. But like last game, he had a 3-point night. I think that was his first of his career. So he's kind of bouncing back. Like you said, the game before that, he had 2 points. So it might have been a slow start for him, but like you said, he is playing outstanding minutes. He's playing way more minutes than any other defenseman. He's playing probably 3 or 4 minutes more a game than Ben Sherrod, his D partner. So he's constantly out there, so you have to take accountability in that when you're looking at his plus-minus, as it is down and his points are down. But he is constantly making a difference out there. He's still making those flashy plays that you do want to see. Sometimes he does do too much with the puck, rather. But when he makes those defensive plays, you know that you have something right there with him. And you can't give up on him this early in the season or get down on him just because of the position that he is. He's so young, taking on that top defensive man role. Like, he's taking it by storm. So
I think his defense has been his strength of the year. For a guy that's playing on the number one line, to have a plus-minus of -6, 18 games into the year, battling what he battles, having Nedeljkovic at times in net, Jesus Christ. Having said that.
No, I think you nailed it, though. But here's the I guess maybe the focus in the spotlight is building that endurance to being the 30-minute guy. That's they know what they have with that. And sometimes being when you're playing more minutes, you got to find a way to play some easier minutes.
Yeah, and as the depth builds with that defensive core, you will see those minutes fluctuate, hopefully go down a little bit. But as of now, in the position they're in, he's got to play those minutes.
Michael Gentry.
Well done, buddy.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you down there tomorrow.
Yeah, no, tomorrow is my birthday, so
I
will not.
All right, I'll be covering it for you tomorrow. I guess
D-Mac's taking my spot up top.
I got you.
All right.
Maybe Max.
I'll be down there.
Speaking of getting covered, Swiss Insurance is what you need to be fully protected and covered, right, Flannel?
Absolutely. And no, we're not talking about mushroom and Swiss. Like Adam said, we're talking about Swiss Insurance. With the holiday season here, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you to insure those gifts of jewelry or collectibles. In the last 2 weeks, Swiss has saved its clients an average of 26% on their insurance premiums while increasing coverage. That's a lot of money to free up for the giving season. Happy Thanksgiving from Swiss Insurance, and go blue.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Downtown Detroit is all decked out this holiday season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge and the Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab drinks at the Lodge before or after games. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with DeckedOutDetroit.com.
All right, we are back. It is the week of the game. Live, WoodwardSports.com. Darren McCarty, myself, Spencer Raxter, Sam Reynolds, Flannel. You know what time it is. What do the Wolverines need to do to win in Columbus? Jesus Christ, he missed a penalty.
Okay, so first of all, they have to be healthy. Because Blake Corum missed the second half, Donovan Edwards missed the whole last game, Mike Morris missed the whole last game, Luke Schoonmaker, and Trevor Keegan. But most importantly, I would say that the health of Corum, Edwards, and Mike Morris are critical, and if any one of them are out, their chances go down exponentially, because I do not want to be seeing C.J. Stokes and Isaiah Gash taking carries out of the backfield. Not once. But if they're needed, they might have to, and that would give the Michigan virtually no chance. What is your confidence in J.J. McCarthy to go win that game without those guys there? Not high. Because he's just not there yet. He hasn't shown that he can be that quarterback that can win games by himself. He's been a good game manager. He's made some throws when need be. He's made some plays with his legs.
He made more throws or less throws
than
on the year, because the biggest thing to me is if they can complete something downfield, right? How many times have I seen them just overthrow somebody or off the fingertips or just out of the reach?
That whole passing attack has been off all season long, and it's just not their identity, though, D-Mac. It just isn't. Their foundation as a football team runs
and
football.
their foundation of their coach being a quarterback is so ground and pound. That's why people miss it.
And that's the frustrating thing, is because early on in the early non-conference games when they were duking it out for who would be the starter, my goodness, Cade was throwing it all over the field. You're like, holy hell, this is a different offense. And then the Big Ten schedule came out, and it was time to play all these teams. And it's like, all right, Blake Corum, take the ball 25 times. Hey, Edwards, here's another 15 carries. We're just going to run the ball 30, 40 times, and there's nothing you can do about it, and nobody's done anything about it for 11 games. They're 11-0.
Yep.
So it's difficult to make this game about JJ, because the truth is he's coming in just become a game manager in this system. And I could argue, sure, in USC or Ohio State, he'd probably be flinging it everywhere, and he'd probably be amazing. But that's irrelevant. Like, to D-Mac's point, hey, kid, in this game that's going to be played on Saturday, when I need you to throw 30, 40 yards downfield, when I need you on 3rd and 11, are you going to be able to deliver the ball?
I mean,
and you know what? He has at times.
Yeah, no.
And his receivers are not doing him any favors.
They are not.
Can't catch the ball. Can't get any separation. But Flannel, that is the question, man.
I mean, did you see that drop by Andrell Anthony against Illinois and a perfect pass in the end zone on 4th down? And we were all talking about, when's Andrell Anthony going to be involved in the season? Well, maybe that's why. Because, when he had a chance, he dropped a touchdown. Yeah, I think he can make a throw or two to win the game, but it's all about the trenches, because I think Michigan still has a decided advantage over Ohio State in the trenches. I think that Michigan's offensive line can overwhelm the Ohio State defensive line. I think that Blake Corum, if he's healthy, can get 150, 160, maybe even 200 yards, maybe have the same impact that Hassan Haskins did last year. Why not?
He's hurt.
But what
and
if
that
he
is
plays?
a hyperextended knee. I don't care how much they cover it up.
So you don't
that
think
is
he's
the
playing?
definition of a hyperextended knee. He's lucky it's not a torn ACL.
I mean, I'll be honest, the way that he grabbed for it, which caused a fumble, if it were just a bruise, to your point, he probably would have been able to hold on to the football and not immediately feel the need to grab his knee. I'm just saying that he hasn't been ruled out.
I'm no medical expert, but I've
Yes.
torn my ACL 4 times.
Jesus.
All right? You can walk, you can jog, you can run full speed straight ahead. you lose all ability to plant your foot in the ground.
But no, and you're obviously have had experience. But what about Donovan Edwards? I think that Donovan Edwards at least can have a game that is comparable to what Blake Corum is doing, because I believe, and me and Spencer have discussed this, that Donovan Edwards is the better running back. He's the more talented running back. He's the more explosive running back. He just hasn't gotten the carries and hasn't been like the hammer. What he also is a much bigger threat out of the backfield. I'll contend that J.J. McCarthy at times has been his most confident throwing the ball to Donovan Edwards. And also, we haven't even gotten to the defense. They obviously need Mike Morris. If Mike Morris doesn't play, I think Michigan is absolutely screwed, because he's been their best defensive lineman. He's been their best defensive player. And how did they win last year? They won by hounding C.J. Stroud. And I'm not saying that Mike Morris can have an Aiden Hutchinson-like impact. What I'm saying is that he could kind of have his signature game. Pressure C.J. Stroud maybe 5 to 7 times. Maybe get a sack or two. Because if C.J. Stroud can just sit back there and throw the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., Abuka, Fleming, maybe Jackson Smith and Jigba if he plays, and he has all day to throw, Michigan is dead. You got to win in the trenches, Michigan, and I believe that they can.
Well, let me ask you this. A one-loss Michigan over a one-loss TCU? A one-loss? Does a one-loss Michigan get in?
We have this conversation because strength of schedule comes into play.
And why I'm bringing it up, Flanos, because I already know the answer. It's no. I think a one-loss Ohio State has a better shot than Michigan do. But the reality is, this isn't last year where Michigan had dealt with adversity early on, losing to Michigan State. They had answered the bell. They had beaten Penn State. They had done everything you asked of them. And then they were at home, dominated the trenches. We know that Ohio State is better as a front seven this year than they were last year.
They're better, but I don't think they're elite or anything.
They're not elite, but again, you know what is elite about Ohio State? They can get to that 7th gear in 3 seconds.
Well, they have the best.
Michigan maybe get to 4.
They have the best receiver in the country.
That's definitely
right?
So 2 or 3
So my question is, if you're I hope, and to your point, Adam, to your point, Sam, is no, that's how bad that injury was, and not to snap it, but the bruise, but that, stinger to the knee because he dropped the ball.
Yep.
Right? And it's sort of like shock to the system and stuff like that. You've experienced that with injuries enough. My question is, I thought Michigan would have one of their best chances of going into Ohio State and winning if they're healthy, but also, too, the questions are, how are you going to stop the best receiver in the country? This kid just goes out and balls Marvin Harrison Jr. every game. You got to think that that's the game plan, right? What you got to understand, too, Ohio State, they've had this game on their calendar since last year.
They are pissed.
Right? Pissed. Columbus. We don't even take that into consideration of coming out. So all you know is they're going to throw everything at you. And then more so in college, don't they hide plays and they don't bring them out in different games because they want, is that more of a myth?
Well, Ohio State have been running the ball a lot better these last 3-4 weeks. Actually won them a few of their games. So they're starting to get it together at the right time. This has double digits.
I guess my question, here's my question. More confidence in the Lions beating the Bills or Michigan beating Ohio State?
Michigan beating Ohio State.
Okay. You said that, Sam?
I have confidence in both, but I would say Michigan beating Ohio State.
Spence?
I don't think either's going to happen.
Obviously, Hunter House. Yeah. What are you going to bet? The other thigh, tattoo on the other thigh, Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah. And I'm not trying to minimize Ohio State. I think they've got a damn good team, a damn good passing attack, and for the record, I'm never going to pick an 11-0 Michigan team to lose at Ohio State. I think that's kind of weak sauce, honestly. But let me just pose this to you guys.
Against an 11-0 Ohio State team on the road.
But they're both undefeated. I mean, I think I really like this Michigan team.
I don't think it's weak sauce to pick one undefeated team at home.
Especially when you're injured. When you don't have your best guys. You need all your best guys.
Well, but like I said, I think with Edwards, they'll be okay. Let me just pose this thought to you guys. I don't think they are going to have to stop Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Egbuka, Julian Fleming, C.J. Stroud, maybe Jackson Smith and Jigba, because they didn't really last year. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, C.J. Stroud, they all went off. They scored 27 points. Michigan just killed them in the trenches. They held the time of possession. Hassan Haskins just absolutely went off in that game, and the defense hounded C.J. Stroud. I just think there is a formula that we've shown that Michigan has shown can work against this Ohio State team, and they did it last year. I know Ohio State has made some improvements. They're obviously pissed, but still.
Well, look, let's take a pause.
Okay.
Let's revisit the conversation because I'm not done with Ohio State and Michigan yet. I have a question about Mike Morris and his impact for Saturday for you, so I'm curious what you think on that. But before we go, our good friends over at Moneyball Sportswear.
Yeah, that's for sure. Moneyball is the place to be, especially for Black Friday. Whether you're looking for the latest look in athletic apparel or you need new uniforms for the team, Moneyball has it all. Stop in a Moneyball showroom in Southfield and experience the only way to ball. Or visit them online at moneyballsportswear.com. Join Woodward Sports Network's own Braylon Edwards of The Final Word live in the Moneyball showroom this Black Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you can win Lions or Pistons tickets, plus store-wide sale of 50% off. Moneyball, the only way to ball.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Planet Fitness is the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports. Also home of the Judgment Free Zone, where you can work out for just $10 a month or upgrade to the Black Card for unlimited guest privileges, hydro massage, and more. Join in club today or go to planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
All right, live 12:27, Big D Energy, woodwardsports.com. Thank you to everybody joining us this, now afternoon.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
A little different, eh, bud?
A little different. I was ready to say this morning. Here we are.
It's all right.
All right, Flannel. Here's what I got for you. Mike Morris, they probably sat him knowing he'd be ready for Ohio State. I do expect him to play. But let's work off of Blake Corum's not available. Hell, he's 80%. No, I don't think he is. That's the problem. I'm going to give you 60% at best.
All right.
You're going to get Blake Corum in the A and B gap. You're going to get him on the interior at best. He'll run maybe 8-10 times. Donovan Edwards has been MIA, and I'm not sure what to expect right now from this offense. I know what Ohio State's giving me. I know even on a bad day they're giving me 33. Does Michigan have 36, 37 in them? The receivers don't inspire confidence. Donovan Edwards coming back his first game on the road in the Horseshoe. The offense isn't opening up anytime soon. I mean, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse or make you feel like there's no chance. Of course there's a chance.
What's the pathway to victory?
Thank you. How do you win? Explain it to me.
I mean, I think that Michigan can maybe hold Ohio State to 27 or 28, and Michigan can get like 31 to 34. I understand what you're saying about Blake Corum. It didn't look good. The good news is, and I don't think we've talked about this enough, he did come back in the second half and he did get a carry. I don't know what that means, but he felt good enough to carry the football one time. He obviously didn't play the rest of the game. Donovan Edwards.
Or he carried it one time and didn't feel like he could play.
Well, and there's might be some validity to that. And Donovan Edwards, he has.
What happened? What do you mean there might be some validity to that?
No, there might be some validity to that meant that he couldn't play, not that it was precautionary.
He couldn't play. That's what happened. You think it'd take him out of the game? You think he wouldn't play if they were losing a game to Illinois?
Isn't this the elephant in the room, or what we need to talk about? They can't score 7. Jake Moody's their greatest offensive gift with these other guys hurt, but they can't punch in the red zone.
And they're
giving field goals, but again, can we agree Ohio State at home, right to your point, to put up 28? How does Michigan's got to put it in the end zone, which they haven't been able to do. So one of the things, Adam, is I hope that everything that they failed at throughout the year, that deep ball, making that pass, that it just gets me thinking, right, in the last few games, what has Jared Goff done? Right? That's what J.J. McCarthy is only needed to do. Make the plays when they need to be made, and they haven't. Can it happen? Can it all come to fruition this game? Sure. But does it look like it's gonna?
Rustin Burks in the chat says, if you tear an ACL, you wouldn't be back on the field. That is a lie. That is a lie. You can play through an ACL injury.
You think he tore his ACL?
I played my entire senior year of baseball with a torn ACL. It's not ideal. You can't pivot. You can't cut. For a running back, it's detrimental. You can literally only run north and south. You can't stop and pivot like he loves to do and plant his foot in the ground. Having said that, you could totally play on it. It's going to swell a ton. You drain it. You take some painkillers, and that's it. You'll be able to play through it. You numb it enough, you'll be able to tweak it a few times. It's going to hurt for a minute or two, and then it'll go back to normal. That's just how the injury is. Having said that,
what about Schoonmakers?
This offense doesn't move the ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who are the guys that are gonna like?
It's got to be JJ, no? I know. Look, I championed him. Yeah, I campaigned for him. I lobbied for him last year. I said I would kidnap him. I would kidnap Cade McNamara in the offseason to make sure he was a starter. But this offense, it just doesn't gel the way you want it to. You can't project a 5-star quarterback into this offense. Why do you think Dante Moore isn't committing to Michigan? Why is he at Oregon?
He's probably thanking his lucky stars.
Where am I going to be able to go play? Where am I going to go showcase my skills?
Mm-hmm. You're not going to do it at Michigan.
J.J. McCarthy has been a game manager. Yep. Boy, that gets you drafted. No. That gets you endorsement deals. That makes you a first-round pick.
Yeah, and it almost seems like with J.J. McCarthy, what I see J.J. McCarthy is a guy who kind of feels like he's in a box when he plays. Because when he gets a chance to throw it, even those 15-yard crossing patterns down the middle, he often seems too eager and too excited, and he throws it away. I mean, throws it over the heads of the receivers. But you're right, though. The receivers really aren't doing him any favors. Roman Wilson dropped a big one in the last game. Andrew Anthony dropped a freaking touchdown. But Donovan Edwards, I know we've kind of glossed over him. He's obviously missed some games, but he's also played some damn good ones. He led the team in rushing against Penn State. He had the play of the game. He is, in my opinion, the better back. If he comes back, do you guys think that they have a chance to kind of have the trench game that they did last year with a fully
I'd give him
healthy
a shot. And you know what? I think you're going to need a player who's been irrelevant all year. You just need somebody to step up who hasn't been there. And, is it Colston Loveland?
Yeah.
Is it Andrell Anthony?
How about Ronnie Bell? How about this week there's something that we just see this connection where with the injury that he suffered last year, that this is his chance to come back and make play. Will he get the opportunity? But I mean, it's got to be somebody. And to your point, yes, like you need your best players to have the opportunity to win this game.
I mean, Ronnie Bell to me is the least of my concerns. I think he's been their most consistent receiver. But to Adam's point, maybe a guy like Cornelius Johnson make a big play. Andrell Anthony, I know we say it every week. But what about, I know a guy you mentioned before we went to break. How about Mike Morris? I think in order for Michigan to win, I'm looking for a Mike Morris legacy game. Because coming off of last year, they lost Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo. And it's not all about sacks for edge rushers, but it is a little bit about sacks. And they had to replace 25 of them. And Mike Morris has been the guy that has that has kind of taken the reins as the top edge rusher. He has 7, which isn't a ton, but it leads the team by a mile. And he has just been a disruptive force this year. So I'm looking for, if they are going to win in Columbus, which is a tall task, for Mike Morris to have an impact similar to that of Aiden Hutchinson. And maybe this is the game that vaults Mike Morris into the top 20 of the NFL draft. Not that we're talking about the draft, but have that kind of a game. And I think he can. He has shown that he is their best defensive player, and he is the edge rusher that has kind of taken the reins and become that leader, been the best player.
Fair enough.
I don't think everybody says this Michigan defense might be better than it was last year. I don't think so. You don't lose David Ajabo, Aiden Hutchinson, and Dax Hill, and you're better.
But statistically,
they're playing worse.
But in
teams.
a weaker Big Ten,
a weaker Big Ten, a terrible non-conference schedule. Like I don't think that Mike Morris is Aiden Hutchinson.
It'll be apparent.
Oh, agreed.
It would be apparent in this game to why you said yes. Stats are a little bit skewed because of this.
That's the one thing for Michigan this year. I expected them to be better than last year because I thought they were going to have an explosive offense with down the field passing, and it hasn't come to fruition. Maybe they're doing, like D-Mac said, keeping things in the pocket until you need it, like they did last year when they played Iowa or whoever they played the week before Ohio State. They used Maryland. They used Donovan Edwards in the passing game, and he caught like 12 passes, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what's going on there?" And you could see Ohio State had to plan for that, and so they over-exerted themselves. Like, "Oh, Donovan Edwards is on the field. Everybody, they're going to throw it. They're going to do this," and then they just ran the ball, and that gave Ohio State something in the back of their mind to be like, "All right, they're going to do this," and they ended up not doing it. So maybe that's what Harbaugh's doing again. Where he's keeping everything close to the vest, and then against Ohio State, he's going to let JJ open it up and throw the ball down the field. But I don't know. It's not looking like
that's a tough sell. Even if I gave you it, it's like you're really buying the whole year, where you just don't know how to throw the football based on that. That's a tough one. It really is, and I think JJ has disappointed this year. He hasn't been the quarterback that you expected and wanted him to be. But they're still 11-0.
Still 11-0,
and that to me is mind-boggling. Jesse Minter, we're going to learn a lot about his defense on Saturday, whether they can beat Ohio State or not, whether they can contain them. We'll see. But let's take a quick break. When we get back, breaking news, the 2027 Men's NCAA Final Four will be hosted in Detroit, Ford Field.
Ford Field. That's awesome. Along with that, I think SummerSlam is coming also, too. I saw that last week. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about freebies. Big Frog, Rivet, get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Stop in, tell them we sent you. The printer went out, bing, bang, boom, right on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today, get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-FIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
At Alta Uptime Matters, Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project or you're outside here doing some yard work before the ground really freezes. Give Alta a call. Yeah, they'll have you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
All right. 12:39 live, woodwardsports.com. Big D Energy, Adam Beydoun filling in for Neil Rule. Darren McCarty at the desk as always. Flannel Sam, Spencer Raxter. All right. Yes, breaking news. 2027 Final Four will be hosted at Ford Field. As much as I'd love to make a big deal out of it, I can't even think 3 days ahead of myself right now. So 5 years, pretty tough, but exciting times, right? I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be the talk of town that year.
Well, we got to think about it, right? With the announcement last week, $1 billion and a half, this Detroit after not doing anything.
NFL draft in 24.
NFL draft that's the big one. I think that's where the city sort of like has to get itself set. But look around the city. We talk about Midway all the time. You know, the bedrock and all that down in the middle of the city. You talk about, you know, the ice rinks and campus marshes and everything. The city's coming along downtown, and it's the perfect time, Adam. Even look at the Tigers and how long that takes. But, you know, Scott Harris, but everybody's building something, and we're all going to end up downtown sooner than later. And, you know, another one. This is just like sort of the precipice of getting the world's view, not only in this country, but everybody looking into the city. So how can you not be proud of that?
No, it's awesome. It's going to be quite the adventure. Let's put it that way. From now till then, it's a big deal here in Detroit. Having said that, Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Let's go around the room.
Absolutely.
What's your best, I would say, favorite Thanksgiving Day moment? Let's start with you, Flannel.
It would have to be the 2014 game where they beat the Bears 34-17, and Matthew Stafford threw 2 touchdown passes to Calvin Johnson, and he dominated. It's because that was the last year that they were really good and were legitimate contenders, and that was just one of those games that they could showcase that team to the whole country watching on Thanksgiving Day. I just remember at that point not having seen a ton of winning in my life, just kind of being like, wow, this looks like a damn good football team that can do something. Hey, and they almost did in the playoffs, but that was just... It's rare as a Lions fan, you get to look at the team and just be like, this is a damn good football team. And I had that feeling that day. It was unbelievable.
All right, interesting. Well, I got a funny story for you guys about mine. Mine was never an experience I had at Ford Field for a game or witnessed. It was more so my dad had 4 front row tickets to the 2004 Thanksgiving Day game against Peyton Manning and the Colts. He came home that morning, told us all, we're going, it's going to be a fun time, whatever. We're all excited, getting ready as kids. And then he sells them. He sells them for double what he paid for them, obviously. And he made a damn good profit off of it. And the Lions end up losing 41-9. And Peyton Manning throws more touchdowns than incompletions that game. So my dad basically helped us dodge a bullet. That is one of my favorite memories because of the money that was made. We ended up going to Disney World, I think, that year. So that was cool.
There you go.
Shout out to those Thanksgiving Day tickets.
Come by it honestly. I don't remember what year it was, but I think it was the Bears game, and this is back when we were playing, and a bunch of us went out to the Silverdome and hung out with the hangman in the end zone and had tailgates and playing football in the parking lot. We were hanging out with Drew and Mike and stuff like that. So I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember it was a good day. Remember it was a good day.
I think, 2016 when they beat the Eagles like 45-14 or
15.
something? 45-15. Yeah.
2015.
2015.
Yes.
Yeah, they beat the Eagles. They put up 45 on the Eagles, and
Is that when Kelvin had 2 touchdowns? I think.
Yes.
3.
And 3. I was completely shit-faced. I was out of it already.
What were you, 14?
No.
15.
I was 16. Yeah, and I was sneaking whiskey. Me and my brother were going because at my family Thanksgiving Day parties, they always have, and the Rizzi family, we can drink. It's known. And there's a lot of wine, there's a lot of liquor flowing, and it's always in the the washing machine room is where all the liquor and stuff is. Room. And so in the laundry room. And so me and my brother would go in there, we'd pour ourselves some shots, and we'd do them while everybody's watching the Lions game. We'd go back out there, and then we'd go. It was a good time.
Thanks. Hey, Rake's always got my back. Yes, it was a 97 game. Barry had 175 yards.
Nice.
Thanks, Rick.
Nice.
Oak Island tonight. Don't forget.
Oak Island, that is right. Are they ever gonna? I mean,
They are, dude. There's gold remnants in the garden shaft. Maddie, we're gonna sacrifice Maddie. We know that because there's one more that has to be, perish before they find the gold through the legend. But we'll be dialed in tonight. All of us, all you Oak Island, we'll see you online. That's our thing. And they will find it.
I can't wait. Well, here's what all of you need to find. Our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
That is for sure, because the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma of seeking help. And trust me, guys, I used to work in this field. I know that seeking help is a big reason why people don't come forward, because they feel like they're being judged for that, and that is the stigma they're trying to fight. So if you or someone you know is struggling, make sure you go to thesportsma.com to get the help you deserve.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby. Talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play, as well as private lane reservation for $120 if you get thirsty. They got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars fit to choose from, so make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
I love it. I love it. I love it. 1247 live, Big D Energy.
Hey, Spence, what was the chat thread to get back? Would you make the bet that Spence that you did? Inner thigh.
Everybody said
it was like 70% no.
Yeah, 70% no. So to answer to, is it on the chat thread here? I lost it. To answer the question, if you would make that bet, where would you put it? Ethan Brown. Thanks, Ethan. Yeah, if you make that sort of bet, it's sort of like an ankle or
right on my
or
thigh.
something. No, I get you.
Put it near your butt crack.
Well, we're taking it. No turds.
Dr. Detroit in the Woodward Sports chat said I should have to get Goff tattooed on my butt, but a G on one butt cheek and an FF on the other. So the O is...
Oh, we got it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
That's risque.
I told her I'd never get anything Jared Goff related tattooed on my
that
butt.
would be Gasoloff.
Yes.
So, you know what? I want to touch on Jared Goff a little bit. While we do this, everybody in the chat, get your questions in for D-Mac. Let's wrap this up. Well, let's come a little full circle here on Jared Goff.
He sucks.
I'm going to name off a few quarterbacks, and you tell me yes or no, Jared Goff is comparable, okay? Be fair and honest. Yes,
comparable, or I would want him on my team
comparable,
more.
meaning, yes, Jared Goff is like this player,
Okay.
or as good or better, or Jared Goff, no, isn't as good as this player.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins. Comparable?
No.
Yes, comparable.
No.
Okay, 3-1. I'm going to say yes, Spence, okay? You're the only one that would say no. Fair?
Jared Goff can't throw the ball down the field.
Hear me out. Well, it's exercise. We're not going to focus on one player. Jared Goff, Ryan Tannehill.
Yes.
Comparable.
We all agree. All right, let's see where we're getting here. What do Kirk Cousins and Ryan Tannehill have in common right now? They're both leading their division. Ryan Tannehill last year had the best record in the AFC. Very interesting. Let's see. Let's throw another name out there in the world of football. Jared Goff and Josh Allen.
No.
No, right? No. Oh, okay. Cool. I need to make sure.
No.
Jesus.
Wait, Jared Goff or Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Okay. Jared Goff and let me check it with my friends up in New York. No. Justin Herbert?
No.
Oh, okay. No. What about Joe Burrow?
No.
No. Okay. Let's see. Dak Prescott?
No.
No. I'd say no.
No, because
Wow.
Dak's versatility, right? If Goff could move just a little bit, right, he'd be better. Because I think what I'm finding out is that like his intelligence is
Fair
the
enough.
benefit to him.
That's what I've been
Aaron
saying.
Rodgers?
No.
Tom Brady?
No.
Lamar
Yes.
Jackson?
No.
Tom Brady.
You guys are killing me here. All no's?
No to Lamar Jackson.
Jesus
yes
Christ.
To Tom
So
Brady.
we've already named
No to Jalen Hurts.
13
Stop it,
quarterbacks, 9 of which none of us agree Jared Goff is comparable.
Yeah, I'll
to.
say he's comparable to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
I'll say that.
Ooh, see, I would defend him.
Really?
I think Jimmy G doesn't get enough credit.
I think
He was thrown away. They traded 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance. You've been in the locker room.
Perseverance,
He could have easily said, F you guys, middle fingers up, I'm done.
Yeah.
He's come in. He's had it coming off his best game Monday night. This is a team that's probably going to get to the NFC Championship game again.
Probably.
I'm sorry. Jimmy G, for me, is at a different level
Look at what last
IQ-wise.
night. Look what did the 49ers do? They built around him.
Yeah.
So he's got Kittle and Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, and he's got Christian McCaffrey.
But they also traded a bunch of assets to get a quarterback who'd be better. He just got hurt.
Well,
I understand they took that shot, but this wasn't their play. This is the contingency plan
Yes.
and plan B, which great teams. But to the fact of Jimmy G being a true professional, right? Jimmy G knows. I mean, anybody see that video at the Warriors game?
Yeah.
He fucks.
That's
He fucks.
the energy. The energy that he gives off. And here's the one thing, Adam.
That big B
right? That
energy.
locker room, right? You've never seen that team not play for him.
Yep.
Right? You know what I'm saying? He's got to play better, but they always glowing.
Coming off his best game, I'm just saying, look, you wanted to draft your franchise quarterback? I get it. I'm all for it.
If you had, so right now, here I'm willing to say, if I'm willing to pick a Super Bowl right now, it's San Fran, KC.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
I don't know. I'm not ready to throw away Philly yet.
Oh, of course, not throwing them away.
No,
but to his point, they are contenders.
They are contenders, for sure.
So the whole point of this exercise, and why I even said this, is we know where Jared Goff is, right? He's over here. He's at this level.
Yeah.
And that is a level you can win divisions with. That is the level you can win 50% of your games with. That is a level, dare I say, you can even win a playoff game with.
Yes.
Cool. And then there's that level.
Yeah.
That's the Ferrari. That's the Lamborghini. That's the Super Bowl contender.
Yes.
Those are the upper echelon.
And
He's not
can
there.
we agree that Jared Goff is at his ceiling?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, too, where the fact is that even though Garoppolo, because that's where, to the San Francisco point, where we want that Trey Lance could.
I think what people don't understand about Jimmy Garoppolo
He's got a giant
he is
wiener.
perfect. No, he is perfect for Kyle Shanahan.
He bangs.
Jared Goff,
Oh,
Kirk
baby,
Cousins,
yeah, he
Ryan
moves, he
Tannehill,
moves.
none of these guys. Isn't that from American Idol, by the way?
I don't know. It's Ricky Martin.
Oh, well, I could have sworn I heard that on American Idol a long time ago. Anyways, point is, Jimmy G is perfect for what Kyle Shanahan does. Because what Kyle Shanahan demands, not asks, what he demands from his quarterbacks, insane precision pre-snap, insane IQ, being able to shift out of a run play and go to another run play and communicate it to everybody. I mean, there's a reason why Trey Lance was failing. He was not ready for all the information. And that's why Jimmy G steps in. And, yeah, the Niners look better with him. There's a reason, because he runs the offense perfectly.
But it's almost like Jimmy knew if something went wrong. Like the kid can't comprehend the algebra.
Yeah.
He had the algebra down. He's like, all right.
And they have, the 3 best yards after catch players at their division, or at their position in the NFL, in Kittle, Debo, and McCaffrey.
Yeah, but let's not BS it a little bit. Kyle Shanahan is out there making plays.
He schemes it all up.
Southpaw slabs, Adam, you're right. That William Hung dude sang
William
on
Hung,
American
Chinese
Idol.
dude. I do. If he's not Chinese, I don't know what the fuck he is, all right? So don't come at me. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, I remember
that dude. Absolutely.
With Goff, the only, what I've been saying these past couple weeks is I don't need an elite quarterback. I'm not begging for, I mean, it would be nice, for a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are generational talents. I want someone with at least an elite attribute, whether that be athleticism, arm strength, pocket presence, ability to read a defense. Goff is a one-read, no pocket presence, no mobility, can't throw the ball more than 30 yards.
And that's what he is right now.
You can't.
Well, that's what he is right now, and that's just the truth. And you know what? I know that is difficult to understand. I like your point about one elite attribute. What I would say is, you need more than one elite attribute to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. You do. To beat even Jalen Hurts, God bless him, he is really coming into his own. Mm-hmm. He's got multiple skill sets. So, that's where the NFL is going. Let's get some questions in the chat for D-Mac. Where do we want to start here? D-Mac, would you rather have a tattoo on your butthole or on your inner thigh?
You know what? I'm going to take the inner thigh on that one.
Yeah.
I don't really want anything near the exit.
Well, look, I just have to ask the questions.
Yeah.
It's my job.
Hey, can I ask you a question, Adam? Did you see earlier? Earlier when you see Adam in mid-strike, go, Jesus Christ, whatever. Well, Poland hit the post on a penalty kick, which 0-0 right now, and my man's got the draw, so he's holding out strong. But earlier today, upset in the World Cup. Saudi Arabia beat Argentina, perennial favorite Argentina, one of the favorites to come out of there.
Messi on the squad. I
got beef with Saudi Arabia, so
that's what I think about your butthole tattoo.
Argentina's national team hasn't lost in like 16 straight games or something like that.
Dude, it's ridiculous. They were up 1-0. They had 3 goals called back because they were offside. They dominated the first half, and they came out in the second half and looked like complete garbage. And they lost to a country that I despise, so it wasn't a good day for me.
Yeah, no, but are you into the World Cup? What about U.S. yesterday?
The U.S. played great. The U.S. played great. They were so great in the first half. That's the problem.
It's almost like they
got tired.
They got tired?
They were full press. They were all over
back.
the field. They were offensive. Every touch was moving forward. They were so aggressive. It was great to watch. And then the second half, they kind of were like, I'm tired.
Were you locked into the England game?
I'm not a fan of England, so... Who did they play?
U.S.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it.
Are you a fan of the U.S.?
What is it, Friday? U.S. are getting killed like 3-1 that game.
I think.
You think?
Yeah. Too much quality. That's the thing. There is a quality difference with a lot of these countries. Yeah, you'll get an occasional upset.
Take it right back to our quarterback, right? There's a quality.
Yes.
There is.
In winning at the next level.
It is brutal. Let's see what other questions we have before
35 games without a loss. Thank you, Chuck Brewer. Was Argentina. 35 games as a country without a loss. Oh, by the way, how about this quick shout-out franchise record for the New Jersey Devils? 13th straight win last night.
That is insane.
In the NHL, in today's NHL, that is unbelievable. And especially for a team. Remember, the Wings beat them second game of the year.
Hell yeah, we did.
That's crazy. There's the I guess the misnomer, but again, it goes to show you Lindy Ruff, formerly coaching in Buffalo, back in Jersey, and those guys are playing. They got good young talent.
Imagine making 13 straight bets on the Devils and winning them all.
Yeah,
must be nice.
I was gonna say, Adam, imagine if you had $10, you started with that $10 bet, and you just kept rolling it.
It'd be more actually.
Yeah,
you tell me.
Oh my God.
That would be so much money.
Gosh, D-Mac, they did catch on to me, though.
They did?
Yeah, the NHL bettors got me in Vegas.
They did.
Last February.
The 5.5.
I saw all the lines got moved to 6.
6.5.
So you can't play that. They moved it all up. All the over-unders are 6.
Yeah,
so
the
5.5s were...
5.5's
money for almost 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then they adjust it like smart people.
So then So then you got to find a new gig.
I don't like that's too much effort.
There it
Do
is.
the 3x3 NBAs. I'm telling you, man.
What is it?
It's 3 3-pointers be made in the first 3 minutes of the game.
I tried that one time.
They always
I
work.
went 0 for 3.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I lost my trust there.
I did it for I was a rookie sports gambler when they started opening. I did that. Just those. I would do obviously you got to pick teams that shoot the ball, and so I'd pick the right teams. I made like $2,000 off of that.
You want to laugh? Yeah. You want to laugh? These are the bets I made live during the Monday Night Football game. Very irresponsible, but they worked out, so it doesn't matter if it was irresponsible or not. So none of you can judge me. Having said that, these are the 2 bets I made during the Monday Night Football game. We'll start with Christian McCaffrey. Live bet that he would have a reception on the second drive of the game. I got him at plus 125. $100 paid out $250.
Nice.
And then I put $100 on Deebo Samuel. 2 $50 bets that he would be the 4th touchdown scorer of the game.
That's so weird.
And that paid out $800.
That is such a weird bet.
No, it's not.
The 4th touchdown scorer of
You
the
know what
game?
it is? It's a winning bet. That's what it is.
Can't argue. Hey, they don't ask how. They ask how many. Kid, great job today. Thank you for
thank you guys for
filling
having
in.
me.
That was awesome. He ain't that bad, guys. He ain't that bad. Sam, you all right?
I'm not
you
bad.
took
I'm
less
all right.
abuse.
I'm all right.
Didn't pin you in a corner.
Yeah. Charles Woodson
You're
on the
welcome.
final
Hey,
word.
People are a bit dramatic. They're
You're
just
welcome
soft
back
bitches.
anytime.
I can't do
fill in
anything
with
about
me,
that.
buddy. I'd love to do it.
I'd love it.
Appreciate
All right.
you.
Appreciate all of you. Take care.
Charles Woodson on the final word.
The show